Hi there, I'm Tom Roberts. I'm the Global Head of Marketing or PrimeRevenue, and we're recording this session in late April in the midst of the global coronavirus pandemic. And we're really here to talk about specifically the economic impact that the pandemic is having, and as it relates specifically to what we do, which is support global trade finance and supply chain finance. And specifically today's topic is really has to do with funding. So we're all at home, and so welcome to my home and also welcome to my guest's home, Dominic Capolongo. Dominic joined us approximately 4 years ago, and prior to that, had a long career in law and banking, all of it relating to trade finance. So welcome, Dominic.
Thank you. Good to be here, Tom.
So to start, Dominic, I have a very simple question for you. So from your perspective, how is COVID-19 or coronavirus impacting trade finance programs like the ones that we run at PrimeRevenue? And specifically, what kind of impact are we seeing from a funding perspective?
That's a great question, Tom. The volatility that the coronavirus has caused has not spared the financial and economic marketplace. As a result, banks, including the funders on our platform, are taking a careful look at all of the facilities that they have outstanding from both a credit perspective as well as from a liquidity perspective.
So what are we seeing? Are we seeing lines be reduced? Are we seeing prices increase? Are we seeing both? And what's the magnitude and impact of those types of forces?
For the most part, we're seeing increases in the spread that the banks are charging. That spread has typically averaged about 50 basis points and has been primarily focused on passing on the increased cost of funding that the banks are suffering during this crisis. We have not seen much in the way of line reductions. We have seen a couple of banks that have particularly large lines go in and evaluate the total need, both current and projected, and right-size their line to the needs of the program. But we have not seen much in the way of banks reducing lines in terms of the utilized capacity.
So you mentioned price increases. I also know, we know that LIBOR, which is typically the base rate for most of the programs around the world, or many of them, has come down fairly substantially over the last 6 to 8 weeks. Can you talk about the net impact of that?
Sure, you've actually hit the nail on the head. We see price increases, as I mentioned, of 50 basis points, but the overall cost to our clients on the programs has actually come down on a total rate. About 2 to 3 months ago, before the crisis, LIBOR was about 2.8%. That's 3-month LIBOR, which is generally the preferred base rate on most of our programs. Has come down from 2.8% before the crisis to about 0.8%, so 80 basis points today. That 200 basis point reduction more than offsets the 50 basis point average increase, so that the overall rate has actually come down about 100 to 150 basis points from pre-crisis to today.
All right, great. So thank you, Dominic. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today. And for those of you watching, thank you very much. For additional updates with video content and or other things that we're publishing, I strongly suggest you follow us on LinkedIn and also check our website regularly. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Take care.